But the next guest, somebody you've already heard from today, and somebody who I believe is going to be coming up from behind his camera, they really need no introduction at all because a lot of it's already happened. Cyn Macgregor, and I believe Mr. Larry Evans.
Well, I put myself in this slot because who can follow that? Who wants to follow that? I cannot sing at all, so we're not going there. At all. Sorry. Okay, we're going to go. So originally, I was going to name this, rename this talk, We Made This, because my partner and I are like a power creative couple. And he's an actor, filmmaker, writer, and I'm a creative artist muse type. And I thought we'd talk about our process and how, what our challenges were. And then we had a very awkward conversation. One of us does not like to talk about themselves in front of a group. You can guess who that might be. And so I asked him to be here with me and to look handsome and let me know when you all get bored. I don't know. So for a little background then, so we're going to talk about me. I knew I was peculiar, and now it all makes sense now that I've listened to David's talk. When I was a little girl, I would see things in the sky that looked kind of like this as I was cloud watching. I'm a cloud watcher. Who's a cloud watcher? Yeah. But I would see things like this, actually. And maybe you all see things like that too. So I knew I was peculiar when I saw, bunnies and butterflies and castles in the sky, literally. So that's when I knew. But I think it's actually a really great thing for an artist to have, to be able to blur the lines and be able to see around the edges, right? So a few years later, my dad invited me into his studio, and he said, paint. And so I did, and I painted this. And, this isn't it exactly. It's just a representation of what I think it might have looked like. But my Rembrandt father was horrified. Horrified. So, message received. Yeah, abstract, not real, not gonna go. Yeah. So I put my paints away. But they were still horrified because then I turned my entire full attention to boys. Something I know they would approve of, right, Mommy? So you can take the paint out of the girl, but you can't take the creator out of the girl. So a few years later, thumbing through a magazine, I tore it up, cut it up. I made this collage on board. So the point of all of that is you really have to follow your heart. You can't listen to what people tell you or the images that you got or the things that your parents accidentally didn't mean to say to you. You just have to do it because really it's just going to happen anyways, no matter what you do. So just follow your heart. So what follows is just a few things that I did to follow my heart. So when I was a young mom, I had a studio. And I decided I would take that sort of Rembrandt non-kiddie thing to a new level. And I had a studio that I helped kids just do free expression. So the studio's mission was every mark is important, much like a saying that Picasso had. And then that led me to my first series, which is called Love Me. And this series has the words love, me embedded into each one of the paintings, so the audience actually has to go and look, and they can see where it is in the painting. So it's a little interactive, but that was important because it was my first series. But love doesn't always go as planned, does it? So this actually was part of a series that actually opened here at the VAE. Yay, VAE! In 2011. On the same day that my divorce was final. So that's why that's important. But I wanted to get a little deeper into art and why I did it. So I went to the Maker Fair, because I'm a maker, and yay! I asked people there, when you think of the color green, what feeling does it give you? And I collected little pieces of paper with their notes on it, and then I did I tabulated all of the data. And then I made a series of green paintings, which is what I mentioned earlier, that there are still some of those left, but I put the words that some of the people had given me into these primer, small, mini green paintings. So that's how that all came about. I love them. Green apparently is a very calming color. That's why. And then again, I went to the Maker Faire because, and Larry helped me with this project. He is a photographer as well. And I thought that everybody had a little bit of creativity in them, right? If you just practice a little bit. And also, I found that if you had boundaries, you could actually be a little bit more creative faster. So I put 7 random items together and asked all the participants to put them together in whatever fashion they wanted. This is just a small sampling, but we have 153 on my Instagram account of these kinds of images. So they came, did their thing, and everyone is different, and everyone is beautiful. I followed my heart a little bit longer, and this was my Larry Love. He and I worked on these 3 films together. Lenny and Josh Chairworks and Miss Honeycutt, which will be showing later tonight, actually, so stick around if you can. Miss Honeycutt. And sometimes he lets me act and direct him if I'm lucky. And so you all know how much I love PechaKucha, obviously. So this was PechaKucha, Volume 18. We were at the Contemporary Art Museum. Terry took that picture, our official photographer. You might see yourself in there. Marie, you're right front. So thank you all for being here, being part of that wonderful community. Of course, love has to find a way for revenue too. So you can find me if you just Google Cyn Just Cyn. I have a little shop of Cyn. And my Zazista shop where I sell some original paintings. And I'm wearing one of my Twisted Sisters. Also, another way that I love, I have a company that helps people brand their business and also help authors get published. So it's just a few of the things that I do. Go to my website, check it out. I don't have anything more to say about that. My final project I'm going to let Larry talk about.
Oh, great. Like David said, I'm an artist, so I have trouble communicating. Actually, Sid designed this table where we basically wanted to be able to have 2 work desks separated, but when we had company over, which you just missed, we can put it together. So Sid designed that and found the artist and found the designer where?
Yeah, actually, there's a guy named John at the flea market. So really what I wanted was a workspace for each of us, and then I also wanted to be able to have Thanksgiving dinner, but I didn't know how to solve the problem. So he crafted this like really cool table that we can do both. So it comes apart and goes away. And now, sure, I'm boring you, so thank you very much.